I've been trying to post Instagram stories, but Instagram keeps failing to upload them. And I thought, okay, that's a good sign. I'm planning to get away from social media anyway, and I'm just going to record another video and post it on Telegram, and I'm definitely posting it in our community. If you're not in the community, a request to join the community. It's a good space. We're testing it right now, and it's going to be up and running by the end of November, I'm sure. But I'm going to implement all the feedback that people are sending me right now. What were my stories about? I was talking about little nuances, like tiny details that make a big difference. Look, everybody understands that in order to improve their English skills, they need to be working with authentic materials. They need to be watching English movies. They need to be working with podcasts. They need to be reading books in English. But how people do it makes all the difference. How they work with those materials makes all the difference. A lot of people tell me, and just today a student was telling me a story of how she cannot watch movies with subtitles, or how she used to watch movies with subtitles, and she can only read the words that appear on screen. As soon as she starts reading the subtitles, she totally disconnects from the movie. She cannot be reading and listening, reading and watching the movie, reading and paying attention to what's happening. So she can either watch a movie or read the subtitles. And reading subtitles was, on the one hand, tiring for her. On the other hand, that was the only way out. That was the only opportunity for her to understand what the movie is about. One of the important skills that we work on when we when we learn to apply the exercises in the system of 9 essential skills to achieve native-like fluency is we're learning to synchronize the image, the sound, and the meaning. What does it look like? Spelling. How does it sound? How do I hear it? And different variations of how I may hear it in English. And what does it mean? Do I recognize it when I see it? And do I immediately make the connections between the sound, the image, and the meaning? The faster you can make those connections, the better your fluency is. Here, speed matters. It's really important how fast you can make those connections, because when you read the subtitles, you're busy reading, and you need time to understand what this word means and what the sentence might mean, and you have no time to synchronize the words with the image, with whatever is happening in the movie, and then you're late, right? And you cannot follow. So as soon as you start reading, and let's say you get stuck on one word, you start thinking about that word, but the movie just continues, and you're still thinking about that one word and that one sentence, and you're losing a lot of information. Native-like fluency means speaking fluency, writing fluency, listening fluency, reading fluency. It's not only about speaking fast. Native-like fluency means you belong. You belong to that conversation. You belong to that communication. You hear and you understand what people mean to say. You know when to ask the right question. You know when to keep silent. You know how and when to respond, and you can do it timely. You are aware of your tone of voice and what impact it might make on your conversation partner. You can learn by talking to people about what they expect from this communication and what their communication style is. Native-like fluency is not only about understanding everything about English. It's about understanding people. And in the first place, it's about understanding yourself. You're a person too. If you understand what you want from this communication, how you communicate, how you listen, how you talk, and what's the first thing that comes to mind when you want to say something, and how to work with that, and how to self-correct your patterns that just keep popping up in your head and you don't want them anymore, then it's so much easier to understand other people, to read between the lines, to hear the things that people don't say. This is what native-like fluency is about too. And a big part of understanding what people mean to say is culture. We're not only learning the language, we're also learning the cultural aspect of the language. What do these people imply? What images do they see when we say words? What do they associate with that image, with that statement, with that quote, with that word? Because they do not see what we see. They do not think what we think. Whatever is obvious to us is not obvious to them. We always need to be aware of that. We need to bear this in mind. Native-like fluency is about all these things, and people focus on fragmented exercises, and they hope to complete this exercise and to become fluent. No, it's not going to happen. You need to learn to connect many skills, many things, many exercises, many systems too. The human system, how you function, the human skills, the cognitive skills, the language skills. It's a big system. And when people ask me, should I watch the video without or with subtitles? I don't know, it really depends. It really depends on where you're at right now. If you are in the same situation, you watch a movie and you need the subtitles because you don't understand what the movie is saying. But when you get the subtitles, you start reading and you lose the movie. You need to work on synchronizing the image and the sound and the meaning in the first place. That should be the first exercise. And movie is too long. A movie is too long for you. You don't need to be working with a movie. You need to be working with 30 seconds first. A 30-second movie clip would be enough to start practicing, because you will be playing this 30-second movie clip over and over again to really hear and understand what people are saying. If you watch one movie that is 2 or 3 hours long and you hope to remember all the words from that movie because you had the subtitles on and because you looked some words up, that's never going to happen. You're never going to retain all that information after watching a 2-hour long movie. No, that's just not true, and that's not sustainable either. But so many people get disappointed that they watched a movie, they kind of practiced their English all evening, and nothing happened. They didn't really remember anything, they didn't learn anything, and the next time they opened their mouth, they said the same annoying thing that they want to stop saying. Or they felt the same frustration that they want to stop feeling. If you're in a different situation, you do need the subtitles. I always turn them on, not because I don't understand what people are saying, but because I am not reading. Whenever I watch a movie in English, I need the subtitles because I'm prepared to learn. I'm prepared to be surprised. Maybe there will be an interesting name that I haven't heard before. Maybe there will be a geographical location that I will not recognize right away because I haven't heard it before. Maybe there will be a new word, especially if it's a sci-fi movie or a fantasy. And I'm always ready to learn. I do not read the subtitles. I'm not in that situation where I start reading word by word and I lose content. I only use them in case I see something I can learn and I can rely on the subtitles. But usually I prefer to have them on. If I am testing myself, of course I will turn them off. It really depends on what you're doing. Everybody's looking for some universal scenario, and it doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. Little details make a big difference. How you do obvious everyday things, this is what matters. Not what you do. Like what you do matters too, but I see that people keep doing things that are not working for them simply because they're doing them wrong. So many people squat, they go to the gym, they squat, but they exercise in the wrong way. They do not squat with a proper form. Their form is terrible, so they're hurting their back, they're destroying their health. They eat wrong, and they eat wrong before and after a workout. They go to the gym when they're exhausted, not when they're full of energy. And they might experience a back pain after a workout like that, and they will go to the gym again. Yes, squatting is a great exercise, but you should be doing it so that you don't hurt yourself. I want to be running for many, many years more. I want to be running for as long as I can run, until I'm 60 or 70. Because I have 60-year-old friends who still run 10K every other day. I do know these people. It's very possible. But in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to work out for so long, you need to learn how to work out safely. You need to avoid hurting yourself, because if you hurt yourself, you will need the time to recover, you will lose your form, you know what I'm talking about, and then you will need time to get back on track, and then you will start losing the skill, and then you'll have to start learning the skill again. I want to be consistent, and safety is the number one priority here. I want it to be safe, and I want it to be enjoyable, because if I don't enjoy it, and if I do everything to hurt myself, there's no way I can be consistent with that. The first thing I'm learning is how to not hurt myself when I work out, so I never overdo it. The same applies to English. Watching a 3-hour-long movie is not going to solve the problem, even if you do it every day. What you do is important, but how you do it is even more important. With what mindset you do it is even more important.